What's up, everybody, and welcome to my NXT review. This is the go-home show before this Sunday for the In Your House pay-per-view show. A lot of things going on in this show tonight. A lot really going on, especially leading into Sunday. A couple surprises, a couple maybe a return here or there, and a couple things I may have predicted in the past few weeks of how a certain outcome was going to end. And I don't know, just a lot going on NXT tonight. But we do kick off the show with Candice LeRae versus Meah, which kicked off the show, which is going to be the match right now. Basically, this didn't really go that long. Pretty much both in the ring and whatnot. Had a brawl at one point, pretty much going to the outside of the ring, pretty much brawling. I know Meah ended up knocking Candice LeRae into the barricade, almost like wheelbarrowing her out there. Basically, both women fought each other out there into the 10 count, so we got a double count out then. But yeah, got a double count out. Pretty much both were outside. And then they pretty much fought to the board, then the screen for the NXT logo. Candice LeRae ended up powerbombing Meah into it, pretty much knocked over the video. Well, not knocked over, but knocked the video screen. A little here scrambling. But as Candice LeRae kept beating up Meah, Tegan Nox came out for the save. But then right after, Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez ended up attacking Tegan Nox. Shotzi Blackheart came out for the save too. Basically, all six women started brawling with each other then. At one point, Meah pretty much went back to brawling with Candice LeRae. LeRae pretty much had on to the ground. Johnny Gargano was pretty much close by then. But as Meah was getting beat up, Keithley came out for the save then as Gargano and them pretty much got out of Dodge. But then pretty much right after it was announced, Regal said that, I guess through whatever, it was going to be a mixed tag team match then between Gargano and Candice LeRae going against Keithley and Meah. Gargano and them tried to run away. Gargano was in his street clothes, by the way. Same with Keithley. Gargano tried to get out of there, but Keithley caught him, and Candice LeRae jumped on Keithley's back. Basically, carried both of them back to the ring, throwing Johnny Gargano back in there, and as but Candice LeRae ended up still holding on to Keithley. Meah ended up pretty much taking Candice LeRae off of Keithley back into the ring. That's when the match actually began then. As the match went on, Gargano kept arguing with Meah throughout half of the match, but pretty much then, right after that, Gargano ended up breaking up the pin after Meah did a dragon suplex on Candice LeRae. Keithley came in and started attacking Gargano then, throwing him all over the place several times, even got his jacket off, and pretty much he was about to go for a big splash, pretty much picking him up into the air. But Gargano ended up taking his car keys out of his pocket and sticking it in his eye before he got the spirit bomb on him then. So he was able to use keys on him to blind him. Meah checked on Keithley, but Candice LeRae ended up getting a roll-up for the win right after as LeRae and Gargano got out of Dodge. But next thing you know, when Keithley was trying to get up, trying to go after Gargano, his hand, I guess, was caught into one of the steel steps. And Gargano ended up coming back kicking it because this Sunday, the North American Championship will be on the line between Keithley and Johnny Gargano, like I said, for the title. The match itself was whatever, honestly. Like I said, mixed tag team, whatnot. Basically, Johnny Gargano and them are just, chicken shit heels or whatever you want to call them or whatnot. But it was okay. I will say that. I feel like Gargano looks way smaller for some reason, and Keithley's got to win this match. I honestly don't see Gargano beating Keithley in any type of chance. I'd be surprised, and it wouldn't really make sense. Even I got to agree with some people, the match should probably go like 3 minutes, but they got to get Johnny Gargano to be over as this big heel right now. So I'm not sure how that match is going to go out this Sunday. They had a promo video package for Cross and Tommaso Ciampa, mostly with Tommaso Ciampa talking about the word special and everything, that, how many takeovers that Ciampa's been part of, and this is Cross's first one, so that's going to be a big match coming up into this Sunday. They went to Mackenzie Mitchell then, interviewing Dexter Lumis about his thoughts on Adam Cole versus Velveteen Dream. And he walked away off camera and came back with a drawing board, a canvas, which I guess he started painting. We'll come back to him in a minute. But I believe after. We're not after commercial, but we'll get to them in a second. I know they went to Drake Maverick, Rockstar Spud there, who was pretty much talking about this could be the best day of his life or the worst day of his life, but he has nothing to worry about, but he doesn't know what's going to happen. But then we went to this Prime Target thing, which was basically a video package for both the Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream for their match this Sunday, which I think I may know what this is about to be, but Prime Target, which they show all the Undisputed Era. Good to see Kyle O'Reilly back on TV, but they were all hanging out in a limo. I guess they were going to celebrate then for whatever reason, but yeah, all of the Undisputed Era got suits on and everything. I saw people were trying to compare them to the Four Horsemen tonight, but they were going for Adam Cole's championship celebration. They then went to Velveteen Dream, who was roller skating or rollerblading somewhere in the streets, and talking about how the Undisputed Era has screwed him over the North American Championship, and how they tried to put him out for months by almost taking out his back and everything. But he says that Cole, he hopes Cole likes pain and everything because he's going to give it to Cole. And, outside looks beautiful, and that the Dreams NXT is going to be beautiful. They went back to the Undisputed Era, though, in some type of restaurant eating and whatnot, some good food. I'm sure this was taped a while ago because it's not like a lot of restaurants open right now. But Adam Cole pretty much said he wanted to make a toast to his 1-year anniversary of being the NXT champion, and he's going to have another future win at In Your House this Sunday when he beats the Dream. But then he went back to the Dream, who was on his couch with 2 women behind him. Pretty much says he's able to handle the 4-on-1 stipulations and whatnot. And, Dream pretty much says that he's going to pin him like he's done before. And he could have pinned him before, and he's going to do that again. And then he brought in his mirror then, which he told the women to bring in there. I like how he said, okay, this is a private matter. Be gone. Basically, told the women to go, you brought the mirror in. Be gone. And then he says, mirror, mirror on the wall, who will be the greatest NXT champion of them all? Next thing you know, Prince, though, or maybe I should say the ghost of Prince, shows up on the mirror and says that he will be the best NXT champion of all time. So, listen, I'm sure everybody's always said that Dream's entire gimmick is basically like Prince to look like. But the fact that they actually somewhat did something, the ghost of Prince in the mirror, that's it wasn't bad or anything, but I was like, Prince shows up, or whoever was playing as Prince, or the ghost of Prince. I don't know where that was going for a second, but we got the ghost of Prince. But it was a good video package for both Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream for this backlot brawl this Sunday, which it looks like they kind of showed a preview of it because there's a whole bunch of cars around. And I'm not sure there was a wrestling ring in the middle. Listen, man, if you know what a parking lot brawl is, because at first I was like, backlot brawl? I don't think it's going to be like Piper and Goldust or anything. But then I'm like, parking lot brawl? I've seen those before in the past. The parking lot brawl with, Eddie Guerrero and John Cena and whatnot. But it looks like they have a ring in the middle where all the cars are surrounding, okay? So I'm not sure what this is going to be this Sunday, but they did say it's on location, so I guess we may be getting a parking lot brawl or however this is going to go, but it's going to be the parking lot brawl or the backlot brawl, but I feel like there's going to be a ring in the middle of it. We'll see if we got cars surrounding the whole thing and whatnot. All I can think back to is just Cena and Eddie, what they did on SmackDown years ago in the parking lot brawl. So we'll see what happens with this, but that's my imagining of what's going to happen. They then went back to Dexter Lumis, who actually finished his painting of him in a pickup truck with the Undisputed Era tied in the back. I have no idea where any of this is going right now with him drawing, but apparently he's a painter and a silent killer. He does not have to speak. He's going to express his words and actions in painting. That's how he's going to get his point across with whatever he's doing with the Undisputed Era right now, all tied up in the back of a truck, driving off somewhere. So we'll see what happens with Dexter Lumis. This isn't the last time you see him for tonight's show also. Swerve went against Tony Nese. Not a bad match, I will say that. It ended up with Jack Gallagher coming out. I guess he was coming out to Swerve. Nice was going to go for his finisher, but Swerve ended up getting a roll-up pin on him then for the win. Pretty much getting out of Dodge right after that. I guess it's going to be a feud with Swerve and Gallagher, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that, but a good win for Swerve because I feel like the guy loses way too many times on this show. Next, though, who do we really get next after this? Yes, the tag team, a triple threat tag match to see who will become the next challengers for the NXT tag titles. Undisputed Era, Laura Cannon, Birch, and a mystery team. And who is this mystery team? Which I didn't even know who it was going to be. It ended up being the return of Breezango. Fandango is back again, folks. Him and Tyler Breeze are back together. Hopefully this guy can stop getting hurt because he really gets hurt a lot. He really does. So I was actually surprised to see Fandango back in the fold again. But they were actually dressed as astronauts this time. Because at first I was like, who the heck are these guys? But then I'm like, oh, wait, I think I know who this is. And I just kind of figured out real fast, yeah, that's got to be Breezango. So, yeah, Fandango is back in the fold. The Fashion Police, or whatever you want to call them, are back. And this was actually a very good tag team match, too. Really good stuff out of this. I actually thought Lord Cannon and Birch were going to win this whole thing. Honestly, I actually kind of thought they did, but I know throughout the match, I know Undisputed Era, they ended up getting distracted by Dexter Lumis there, who was just watching from the crowd as he looked at Undisputed Era. Tyler Breeze pretty much came back hitting Fish with the beauty shot, and then Fandango hit his big leg drop for the win as, what was it? I think it was Birch or whatever, ended up hitting a big uppercut on, what was it, O'Reilly? Not O'Reilly, Strong, though. They are to the outside of the ring then. So, there you go. Pretty much on the outside of the ring then right after that. But Breezango gets the next in line for a title shot. So, yes, the return team will be in a title shot. But right after Imperium came out and watched them for a second. And then next thing you know, whatever the new team at Bivens or Stokely Hathaway is managing, Malcolm Bivens, in this share showed up. First off, I haven't seen these guys in weeks. I forgot they were even a tag team. And I think they only had 1, 2 matches? I called them Discount AOP. That's what I called them. But then I'm like, how are these guys even trying to get in the title hunt right now when they've barely even been on TV? And then I've only seen them in 1, maybe 2 matches on this show. So I kind of found it funny they were already trying to get a title shot. Because I'm like, oh yeah, they're still a team. I forgot they had another team around here. At least they're trying to get more tag teams on this show nowadays. And stuff. Because I didn't know they were even going to bring back Breezango again. But like I said, hopefully Fandango does not get hurt. Because he gets hurt a lot. Alright? And like I said, I don't even know who this shared tag team is that well, but you haven't really seen enough of them, so why would they even be in the title hunt right now? So we'll see what happens in the future with that whole thing. I guess they showed video footage of last week with Robert Stone or Robbie E. They're getting fired by Chelsea Green. I didn't see that till now. Aaliyah came out, which, once again, you already know what's going to happen to this guy. Yeah, I almost feel bad for this girl sometime because I don't know how long she's been in the company, but man, does she barely win. And she went against Santana Garrett, which I actually thought Leah could have won this just because she has some type of storyline going on, and Santana Garrett's just either jobbing everybody. But what happens, Santana Garrett ended up getting the win over Aaliyah after she did a big somersault moonsault on her then. Robbie E out there was watching, pretty much looked a little bit more disheveled and nervous or whatnot. I guess because of his firing and stuff. But, Aaliyah's still trying to be part of the, Robert Stone brand and everything. So at least there still is a story going on to why she's losing. But then again, this girl loses so many times, you forget she even is in a storyline. Because I was like, okay, maybe Aaliyah will get a win. And listen, I know Aaliyah's not really that good, but even I'm kind of sitting there like, can she get something here, people? Anything? Even I've got to go on, give the girl something. I don't know what, but man, she just takes a lot of L's. Next, we got into the next prime target for the women's match this Sunday, triple threat. The video pretty much started off with Io Shirai, I guess, who was drowning in water, which it had subtitles, by the way, pretty much talk about being isolated in an empty void, alone, and that's what makes her stronger. And, you know, she's in the water, she's laughing, and she will be the next NXT Women's Champion. They went to Rhea Ripley, I guess, who was waking up, pretty much going for her early morning workout and everything, pretty much, cooking up the protein. And she pretty much talked about how the end of 2019 was the highest point of her career. And going to 2020, it is gone on a downward spiral. Hey, but then again, this whole year is already a downward spiral when you think about it. So, yeah, everything is shit nowadays, all right? I'm waiting for the next catastrophe to happen because it's really, it's really bad. Really, really shitty right now. But, Ripley pretty much said she doesn't care anymore. She just wants to win. They went to Charlotte at the Performance Center and pretty much talking about being back at a takeover now. That's kind of nervous and everything. That, you know, she is a NXT homegrown talent. Everybody wants to say, you know, and chant, you don't go here. Well, I was here before. Come on. I wouldn't have had even a turn point in my career if I didn't beat Natalya for the NXT Women's Champion. She went on. And I know they interviewed Natalya and Rosenberg, which, by the way, they did that for the Dream and Cole thing, asking people like Sam Roberts, Rosenberg, and Pat McAfee. Basically, all these guys work for WWE, so I can tell you there's a lot of shill things going on, especially from Sam Roberts, and I wouldn't really take credibility from these guys, so not the best people to put on there when talking about these matches, but they did that. And, you know, Ripley was in the gym, pretty much talking about the whole thing about challenging Charlotte back at WrestleMania and everything, that she was at the top of the mountain until she ran into Charlotte, and that's where everything kind of stopped, and how, you know, the title is now being on all three brands right now. Then next, you know, they kind of talked back about Io Shirai, talking about how she grew up in this business, and somebody compared her to AJ Styles. I don't know if it was Rosenberg or that, but she compared him to AJ, I guess, somehow in their careers, but I already called her like a Wolverine, that she's going to tear your face off, and that she's going to be ready for this match on Sunday. So not a bad video package, Joe, just like the prime target for the Adam Cole and Dream one. Another great prime, like I said, prime target thing for the triple threat women's title match this Sunday. Next, Cameron Grimes went against Bronson Reed. Quick match, honestly. Grimes ended up hitting his, the cave-in for the win after dodging Reed doing a splash from the top rope. But right after he won, he pretty much talked about how he beat Finn Balor with that same move. And the next thing you know, he kind of looked like he saw a ghost for a second. It was Cross who was actually in the ring. I guess he almost thought he was about to get beat up by Cross again, which that's actually happened before, because if I can go back in the memory... Sorry for the pause. Hey, my bad for the pause, but if I did not pause that right there, my voice would have been distorted in the review. Microphone messed up. But yeah, I'll kind of go back with the Grimes and Cross thing, which is kind of funny. Grimes did get taken out by Killer Cross before. Basically, he was the one that kind of killed him with a cinder block before he went over here to NXT off of Impact when they both of them were there. Trevor Lee's last match in Impact was against Killer Cross, and Killer Cross basically murdered this guy with a giant cinder block before Trevor Lee went to NXT. right after, and Cross was still there. But Cross was in the ring. He hit the Doomsday Saito suplex on Bronson Reed, and then he talked about Ciampa, saying that Sunday is going to be special TikTok. So really looking forward to that match. And in the main event, we get the Cruiserweight title on the line. After this entire tournament, Spud versus El Hijo de Fantasma. I got a lot to say about this, okay? And I am not surprised what happened here. This is a very good match. I liked it. Basically, Spud's career is on the line, which we all know and everything. And I will say it took some hard bumps to the outside, especially that somersault and power bombs out there. A lot of power bombs by El Hijo de Fantasma, by the way. King Cuerno there, hitting the power bombs and whatnot. Even one in the ring had a good near fall to it. But a lot of power bombs, I will say that. But going on into this match, though, looks like going near the end, because I know they got pretty much almost got to the top rope at one point, and I know Spud had stopped Fantasma from going up there, hitting him with I don't know, feeling like a punch or an uppercut and whatnot. But when Fantasma was on the ground, then the Luchador Ninjas came out again, which I'm sure that was expected. But when they came out there, though, Spud ended up in a suicide dive on them. And when he got back in the ring, Cuerno there hit the Thrill of the Hunt on him. They'll heal that Fantasma. I'm trying to go by whatever name right now. But he ended up hitting the Thrill of the Hunt, winning, becoming the new Cruiserweight champion. And as Spud sat in the ring, he wanted to thank all the fans and everyone for his support, since, you know, his career was ending here in the WWE, and he was thankful and whatnot. And as he said goodbye to the, I guess, NXT, rookies, or the Performance Center, the wrestling school students right there, as he walked back and was saying his goodbye, next thing you know, Triple H comes out with a folder in his hand and whatnot, and it was a contract in it. So Spud gets to keep his job because Triple H took pity on him. And I have said this from over a month, literally over a month now, that Spud's entire release was a work. Okay, and it's proven right now. Now listen, I said it last week before, I would not have been surprised if he had won this title tonight. But I was like, if he loses somehow, some way, I don't know how, and I don't know how they were going to do it, but he was going to find one way to keep his job on NXT. So I knew he was not going anywhere for over a month now, and I have stated this many, many times. WWE found a way, they created a good story out of it, and they got a real good feel-good moment at the end of this entire thing, okay? Because I knew he wasn't going anywhere. I never knew. He wasn't, all right? He never was. He never was. I knew it since the beginning. I knew it since the video he put out. Because I could just go back and go through this whole timeline of why I thought Spud was never going to leave the company. Okay? He never was. Because I was just waiting. He could have showed up next week in a black shirt and all black, pretty much saying, I'm not leaving until I get a contract or something. Or it was going to be some type of way he was going to still be in the company. So yes, because everything he did throughout the tournament, Triple H basically took pity on him, offered him a new contract, so he goes nowhere. Like I said, you can go back all the way in the video, and yes, it was very emotional when he got released with all those people. But at the same time, the minute he said he was going to still wrestle the tournament, even though he's released, that never made any sense to me when that happened, okay? I'm like, okay, if he's released, how does he still get the wrestle on the show? Let's throw somebody else in the tournament. But WWE knew what they were doing, and yes, you got some good promos out of it, but I said, he gonna make it to the finals of this tournament. I don't know how he's gonna do it, but he gonna make it to the finals. And I was right. He made it to the finals of this tournament, okay? And listen, it is kind of a messed up story because people did legitimately get released, okay? The only people they've really brought back now or kept here is either him during this whole thing or Kurt Angle being back in the fold since last week now. Alright, so somehow, some way, he was going to make it to this end of this tournament, and, you know, he was going to have a real feel-good thing, and yeah, he could have won the title, but nah. Triple H took pity on him, He gave him a new contract. They wanted a story. I'm sure people all believed it. It was a feel-good moment. You probably didn't have a dry eye in the house watching it. But I've been calling this for over a month now, okay? I really have. Ever since the whole release thing with everybody, it was just kind of odd how Spud's thing was working. So, listen. And, I can count another thing in this too, okay? Whoever thinks Rockstar Spud is coming back at Slammiversary, get that out your head right now. I've already saw that teaser video last night on Impact. It's a good hook, but I knew Spud was never going anywhere, okay? His whole release in the WWE was basically a work. It was always a work. I knew it was in the beginning. Just giving the clues, just giving them what went on. It made it obvious. I'm not saying it was the best thing to do. People legitimately got released from this company. They did, but they made a storyline out of his whole video, and it did. Once again, when they played the video on TV from what he put on Twitter, they made it to a storyline. It's a work. This whole release is a work. That's why I found out he made it to this whole end of this tournament. So either way, he was either gonna win the title, and still keep his job, or he was gonna lose and find some way, somehow. I don't know how he would have done it, but somehow, some way, he was going to keep his job, okay? And Triple H basically saved his job and kept him on the show, all right? So he is going nowhere, all right? He's going nowhere. So that's my whole thing about it. So good match though, good main event, but yeah, Spud keeps his job. El Hijo de Fantasma wins the Cruiserweight title. Everybody wins, okay? Everybody freaking wins. So I'm out of here. I will see you this Sunday for the In Your House review, okay? And we'll be back on Friday for a SmackDown review also. I'm out of here. Comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. I'm out. See you guys later. Peace.